Hi guys, welcome back to August Love Story, the channel. My name is Artieka.
I'm Tommy.
And today we are reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 13, Episode 10. That episode is titled Locked Out. If you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. You ready?
Let's do it.
All
Oh,
right.
let's do.
So, I'm trying to figure out which couple to start with because we've had so many new things happen in this one episode. Let's try Johnny and Bao because they were like the least explosive or fascinating.
Let's go for it.
So the experts gave them an exercise. I believe for some people it was an honest communication. I think it may have been honest communication all the way around. But Bao had to talk about her biggest insecurity, or they both did. And Bao mentioned that her biggest insecurity is not being able to do it all. And in turn, Johnny talked about not living a purposeful life. And I could see why Johnny is feeling like he might not be living a purposeful life because he runs from things that have purpose. Bao also shared the story with Johnny, which we saw maybe like in the matchmaking special situation about her not wanting people to know, like her classmates to not know where she lived growing up because she was embarrassed by the state of their home. And also she mentioned some information about her dad being the local drunk and a lot of people not wanting their kids to hang out with her because of it. Fast forward, Dr. V or Dr. Viviana comes over. Yeah. And
I call her Dr. V.
I have Dr. V in all my notes. That's why I said it. She came over and she talked to them. And you know what? With every couple that she talked to, she seemed to have like the warmest like reception to them. She was like, I'm impressed by how well you guys are handling everything. Kudos to you guys for that. And she talked about their sex life and they described it as mostly vanilla.
I didn't get the vanilla description. What do they mean by the vanilla?
Kind of like you probably, we weren't friends like that in college, but me and my friends used to have this running joke about like boring sex being called mannequin sex. I would assume vanilla sex is very close akin to mannequin sex. It's just kind of
boring.
We did it.
Yeah.
That's it.
It went down.
Yes. Bao said that they had sex multiple times. And she has suggested that they start having sex every day or every other day. I'm wondering if part of this is because one of them is not really wanting to be the one to initiate the sex. Probably her.
I don't know. It's hard to, without somebody telling you, hey, this is what's happening in the sex realm of our relationship. It's hard to gauge who's the one to initiate, especially. But I will say that he said, I'm gonna just say yes to it. Like, I'm not gonna say no. So
that was the reason that I thought that he might be the initiator, is because she's like, we could have more of it, and she's not initiating more of it.
Yeah. Oh, that's definitely probably it. But I don't know.
So they were left with a 5 senses activity, and there were lots of giggles. And I said things got steamy, and this has to be awkward in front of the cameraman.
Right. It has to be really awkward. One thing that I think about with them is I don't want, because it seems like Johnny is happier now that they're having sex. And I don't want
sex to be the basis.
Sex should always, in my book, is the extra, in the relationship. Like, yeah, it comes with a relationship, but it's all the other features of the relationship. You shouldn't be with a person or enjoy a person because you have sex with that person.
Right.
You know, because it'll be times where you can't have sex with a person, be times where you don't want to, you know, but it's still those other things you have to be able to.
You have to find a happiness
factor
in
those other things. So it's good to have a good sex life, but also you got to have that right balance as well. So,
all right. So I'm trying to think of who else. Brett and Ryan, they were the next non-eventful. And they had things happen. It just wasn't huge. So I don't know why I wrote this. Ryan made breakfast and smoothies. Yeah. Dr. Viviana came by. Basically said they're getting along and being affectionate, but they've never seen each other naked. Ryan said that he wants butterflies and to be speechless. And that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I think Dr. V, she set it up perfectly or said it perfectly. She was like, that's Hollywood.
Yes.
You know, that's what you see in the movies, but in real life, that's not how it goes.
I mean, you want your spouse's presence to make you like happy or like feel like you're safe or, for lack of better words, warm and fuzzy. But everything isn't like, oh my God, this is so amazing every day.
Right. No, it's not. It's you know, you're gonna have those arguments. You're not gonna want to be around a person and stuff like that. You like a person is gonna want to go somewhere and you're not gonna want to go. But
we have that a lot in our house.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. But it's like those warm and fuzzy feelings. Like I told her when we watched it, I didn't get that, you know, at all. Like we hung out. I liked you. You liked me, I assume. And, you know, we're here. But I think Brett is looking for something he's not going to get. And he needs to learn how to focus that energy on looking for a feeling, focusing the energy on finding out who this person he's married to is. And I think that's the better way for him to go.
Dr. Viviana said I said the feeling that he's searching for is a fantasy, and Dr. Viviana said it was Hollywood.
Yeah.
Brett told him told Dr. Viviana that she felt like this is like her past relationships and she just doesn't get it. Like ultimately she's feeling rejected by all of this. And I get it.
Yeah,
like,
that makes sense.
It makes sense. Like a person saying, I can't go all the way in because I'm not getting this warm and fuzzy feeling. Like, dude, try. Not to say that you're going to get this warm and fuzzy feeling because you try, but you might get something that you've never had before if you try. Because he's also been the one to say that he bows out of things very quickly and easily. Yeah. So Brett and Michaela go and have coffee together. And basically she told us that after Dr. Viviana left, Ryan left and he went and stayed at his house. And I sincerely hope that they write that into the next season's contracts that you can't go home. Johnny has gone home. Zach has gone home. Ryan has gone home. Yeah. The only person that I can't fault for going home at this point is Michaela, and that's because she was forced to go home because of COVID. Right. Hers was not a choice to go home.
Yeah, that's why they have a 2-bedroom.
That's what happens when you're in a marriage. Yeah, like, I don't get to be like, oh, we're gonna keep another house just in case I'm mad at Tommy. No.
Let me walk away and go to another room.
Go sit in your car.
I've done that before. It was like pissed completely and went inside in the car.
I mean, you do what you gotta do and you move on.
No, but I hope they do something about that because they like everybody has said, oh, I need to go reset or I need to, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like, what are you resetting from? This is life.
You better go to Starbucks.
This is life. Like, you have to be able to, you have to be able to pivot right then and there when it comes to being married and everything like that, because things aren't, and especially in their situation, things aren't going to go the way you planned them to go. Mm-hmm.
I wonder what a lot of people plan to happen at Married at First Sight. We're going to get here. It's going to be amazing. And then
I don't know. Like, that's something to really ask. It's like, what is your mindset going into it? Thinking like your spouse. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, like, I know mine would be like, man, I hope she it would be superficial for me. Like, hope she's not ugly. Hope she don't think I'm ugly. Hope we can talk, and stuff like that. Hope I'm attracted to her. But, but it's really, you have to have an open mindset and be prepared for anything, mm-hmm. and know how you're going to respond to it. But like, having to leave, you have a conflict or you have a issue or something, and your thing is to leave and go home and spend time to myself or be away. Like, you got to realize 8 weeks is not long. Mm-mm. And you're
still getting a representative at the end of the 8 weeks.
Right. And you're still, like, at the end of the day, the objective is to find out if this is the person you want to spend the rest of your life with, or if you want to get a divorce right here and right now. And you need all the time to make that decision because it's such an important decision.
Right.
So
Ryan comes back home. They have dinner. He basically told her he just needed to reset. But if she sees him shutting down like that again, she needs to call him on it. And I'm like, how, Ryan, if you're not there? Be there, and it'll be easier for her to call you out on it. Last thing that they did together was they went and had a session with tantric sex advisors or instructors. Yeah, that's all I had.
I was trying to figure out what the tantric sex was supposed to do for them, because anything with sex in it puts me in the mind of we're about to have sex, or
we're about trying to say a bad word, weren't you? Yeah, I saw your mouth.
No, I wasn't. But
you was like,
we're about to, we're trying to jump that hurdle. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to spice it up a little bit in the bedroom. And I was trying to figure out what was the point for them to do it, because they're not there yet. Mm-mm.
He's still looking for.
Like, I think he's ready, but I don't think Brett.
I don't think he's ready to have sex with Brett. I think he's just ready to have sex.
Yeah. And Brett is not ready to have sex. Like, she's like, I need more time, need this, need that. And it just seems like that's not. And another thing, too, they was like, they're both sexual people. I was like, how?
When they decide to
have sex, they're sexual people.
Everybody ain't got to be out here just screwing everybody.
But isn't everybody?
No, everybody's not sexual.
Sexual when they have sex?
No.
In the act of having sex, it's not sexual?
Yes, but everybody doesn't have sex.
So what's the next couple we talking? That's all I got for them, man.
Okay, so who have we done? We've done Johnny and Bao, and we've done Brett and Ryan. So let's go to Zach and Michaela. Right. So Zach started out boxing with his friend. And let me tell you, this is the first person that explained the story to make themselves sound better.
Yeah.
On this episode.
Really?
The second was Jose. He tried.
Oh, Jose did a terrible job.
Zach did a terrible job too, because Zach told his friend that he and Michaela had a nice moment. And then he told her that he was going to go back to his house, get the Apple TV so they could hang out, watch a movie together. He was like, it's getting late. I'm going to just stay here.
That can't happen. Like, you can't do that.
You can't.
You cannot do that, man. Like, you have to suck it. You knew what time it was when you left.
Oh.
You knew exactly what time it was when you left. So what you should have did, either stayed, asked her to come with you, or took yourself back home. or took yourself back to where she was.
Zach is checked out.
Oh yeah,
and that was an excuse.
Definitely, he's done.
So Dr. Viviana sat down with the two of them, and they had a talk about trust and intimacy. She says that she says she's at a 50%. I don't remember if Zach gave a percentage.
She said 50%, and he was like, "Oh, so you just 50%?" They talking about trust.
Yeah.
He's like, "You trust me only 50?" Like he was surprised.
Like
I
don't trust neither one of y'all.
Right. They've had this conversation before about her guard being up, and encompassing in that guard being up is trust. You know, she has a big issue with people leaving and stuff like that. And she, you know, she's recognized where she's done wrong, apologized for it, and trying to move forward with that. But it's so hard because he keeps bringing it up, and that's affecting how she trusts him.
And like she brought up in their trust conversation, she feels like he keeps blowing her off, which... Me, myself, personally.
That's what he did for movie night.
That's what I was about to say. Me, myself, personally. If you tell me that you're about to go to your house and get your Apple TV and come right back, and then you don't come back, you have blown me off.
You have blown her off. And then that's what he did the first time she blew up. It was just, he didn't like the way she responded to what he did.
But he blew her. Well, she feels like he blew her off. Yeah. He claims he texted her. That was just a big communication issue, that whole thing. But, however, the movie situation, I could absolutely side with Michaela.
Yeah,
you blew me off.
And she didn't blow up in response to it.
She didn't. They had a conversation.
She told him how she felt about it.
They agreed to disagree. She moved on. Zach said he doesn't trust her not to blow up with Dr. Viviana. Michaela says, I don't know why you don't trust me not to blow up. I have not blown up on you again.
Yeah.
Basically, in my opinion, Zach backpedaled out of that conversation until he was forced to say that he believes that Michaela is the knee-jerk reaction that happened with the first blow-up. He thinks that is consistently who she's going to be. And I mean, I get it. You do it to me once, I'm done.
Yeah.
Did it to him once, he's done.
But you have to take this situation, and I'm bringing up the you're married to this girl. She did that one time. You talked about it. Corrective behavior. We've had this conversation before. We talked about it on the podcast before, where I would do something. I think it has something to do with the water. Like we would buy water, like the 12 ounce, 20 ounce, the bottled waters, and I would drink the last one. Wouldn't put any more cold water in there because it don't mind. It don't bother me to be hot, room temperature or cold. And you used to get mad. We talked about it, and, it's something that I worked on. That's what you got to do when it comes to marriage. Yeah, exactly.
I don't squeeze from the middle anymore.
You don't squeeze like you savage, like you're freaking savage. But, that's the thing. That's the approach you have to take when it comes to being married. And I understand that they 3 weeks in, maybe 4 weeks in, but it's like, you have to look past boyfriend and girlfriend. This is a marriage, and it's things that we're going to have to work on.
And it's always things that you're going to have to work on because new stages of life present new things that you have to work on.
Right.
So it's just, I get that he says it's a knee-jerk reaction. And again, he didn't even get to see the full blow up that she had until he watched the show. Yeah. So he doesn't even know what all it encompassed. Of course, we don't know what all was said to him in text messages either or phone calls because she got a slick mouth. However, we either got to agree to disagree or agree to work at it. Yeah. Don't keep saying that we're agreeing to work at it if we're not agreeing to work it.
If you're going to keep bringing it up, because it's like you're beating a dead horse at this point.
So Dr. Viviana suggested to the two of them that they need to establish boundaries and let each other know what their triggers are through communication. And after Dr. Viviana left, Zach went over to the table, and I'm not laughing because he's crying.
I am.
I'm laughing because I was reminded when he cried on this episode how many times he cried in the first 2 episodes.
Man.
Because he was just overly overcome with emotion.
Yeah, he definitely
at the wedding.
I don't understand his crying. It's it's cool. The man cries and stuff like that. That's fine. It is what it is on that. But I understand where the crying came from last night.
He basically didn't want to say that she was a bad person. And that's what he was insinuating. And that's what she took away. And because that's what he was saying.
Right.
And he didn't like that he was projecting those emotions onto her. That's what I got from it.
I told you got way more than I did because I didn't understand it at all. I was like, what is it that you're trying to, and she was like, Zach.
Production was like, go over there.
Zach. Yeah, right. She was finna let him just go over to the table. That was so dramatic to me, man. Mm-hmm. It's like, stop crying, man, and just say what you're trying to say. We know that, he gives off that he's clocked out because she did one thing, 2 things that reminded him of his ex-girlfriends who he was in a relationship with for a very short time too.
Neither one of them has histories of long relationships, and they're both basing the trauma or lack thereof in some situations of their previous relationships with their relationship with each other.
Yeah, because you think about it like this, man. Everybody has a moment in time where they just blow up on the other person. Mm-hmm. You've done it. I've done it. I'm pretty sure you guys have done it too. But
however, we've tried to be fair in our blow-ups.
Yeah,
because there's no hitting below the belt with the blow-ups.
It's not.
And you're not gonna curse me out. I'm not gonna curse you out.
But it's like it happens, then you correct the behavior. Mm-hmm. And I don't hold that against you. He's holding this against her, and it's affecting how they can move forward in this whole experience.
And if you're not going to want to move forward, just say that.
Yeah.
Have that conversation and be done with it. That's just what it is. So in an attempt to reconcile, Zach took her swimming. And then they have their exercise about honest communication. And they have 7 questions that they have to write down. And then they get blindfolded and ask the 7 questions to each other. Yeah. During the question that stuck out to me, and I don't know if you had anything. I just wrote,
they went swimming. That was my last note.
During the 7 questions, he says that their future together is doubtful in his mind, but basically he was willing to work on it. And that seemed to really, really hurt her, that he did not see, fully see a future with her, because she really wants this to work at this point, and she just doesn't see.
It's not that they have issues.
No, they do.
I'm saying it's not like they have issues that they can't get around. Mm-hmm. When we'll get to this, Jose and Rachel have real issues, but they have issues of, I'm learning who you are. And we have to learn to figure that part out. Because if I like you 85, 90% of the time, and you got this 10% thing, I'm not trying to change you, but we have to learn to figure out how to work around that. Because it seems like they have fun, they enjoy each other and everything else when they're not that 10% part, So it's figure out if you like the girl. Mm-hmm. Not because of this one thing and you hold that against her.
Not because of these cameras.
Right. That too. But
because we all say things when a camera's turned on us. or we would all say things when the camera's turned on us. But go ahead, finish your thought.
No, I was going to say, because I feel like I'm picking on Zach, but I just think Zach needs to really try harder when it comes to this in the marriage, because he claims that, well, I ain't going to say he claims. He say, I really wanted this, boom, 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 and all of that. And it's like, it's not easy.
Right.
Like, literally, dude, you just met this girl. You know how hard relationships are. Then on top of everything, you're married to this person. You know, you have to build some type of foundation. You have to build some type of knowing who this person is, getting to know this person, understanding this person, communicating with this person. And you guys are just going through those motions of learning. Mm-hmm. You can't give up when you're still learning this person. Now, you learn this person and you see nothing can, you know, y'all still bumping heads, then you can make a decision. That's why they give you the 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. But take advantage of the 8 weeks that you got and the time that you have together and figure it out. You got
anything else, Phil?
Nah, that's it, man.
All right. So, Gil and Mirla. So, their exercise about communication, they discuss what has changed in the last...
Don't they surprise you?
They're doing better.
Okay. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
They discuss what's changed in the last 5 years. She said she's become more understanding and more patient. He was like, well, what was it like at first?
Right. Right. I was like, dang.
Because this is more? Lord, don't give me less.
This is an improvement?
I don't remember what he said has changed in the last 5 years or if he even answered the question. Dr. Viviana came by and Gil started out by saying, let me let you know that she is nervous. And I was like, oh, we speaking for each other now?
Yeah. No, they cool. They're cool.
No, this episode, actually, no. The episode with the finances softened Mirla for the viewing public. Yeah. And she's gotten softer and softer every single episode. She'll be mushed by the end of the season if we keep it at this rate. Mm-hmm. So they rated their emotional intimacy, and Mirla rated it a 7 and Gil said it was an 8. With physical intimacy, Mirla said it was a 7 and Gil said that it was a 5. And he thought that Mirla's would be lower for physical intimacy than it was. And she was like, why would you think that? He was like, what physical intimacy do we have? Essentially, he's just on the whole, you know, kiss thing. He's like, we haven't had any kisses on the lips, and he doesn't make any moves with her because he feels that he's going to be rejected. Yeah. And I get it. A person keeps telling you no, 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 no. At some point you stop trying. And
when he was saying when he feels rejected, it's just gonna make him reject her. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't want to do that. Because, you know, it kind of defeats the purpose of everything that they're working on.
And Mirla said that she feels that kisses and sex are the same. He said, no, they not. And they talked about again, if there's not a kiss by decision day, he's asking for a divorce. He's like, no matter how good everything else is, if you can't be physically intimate with me, and I'm not talking about sex, if you can't be physically intimate with me, what are we doing this for? Right, like, why are we can be friends.
Yeah, we cool.
But you just be my ex-wife. So Mirla said that she's not giving in, but he is wearing her down. I think she said the wearing her down part in a confessional, though.
Yeah, she did. She said she was closer to kissing him.
Right.
Kissing you is... Go ahead.
So they get an exercise from the experts about the 5 senses. She shot down the first 2, which was body shots and being blindfolded. She was like, no, my lashes. No, I don't do body shots. I'm like, well, he could do a body shot off of you.
Right.
Maybe shots are against her
diet.
I don't know. You can be a shot of apple juice.
I know he was like, dang, man, I thought I was going to, I don't know.
So they did agree to do the cuddling and breathing in sync. And she said that them syncing up their breathing did make her feel more relaxed. And she did enjoy that. And then we fast forward to the golf range because it wasn't a course.
Yeah.
When they were out testing their non-skill set, most of them, because Ryan was ready.
Ryan came out ready.
Gil did share that they shared a kiss, and we got to actually see the kiss, like they were just in the kitchen, and she was just like, "Hey, give me a kiss." And he was like, "Oh." She
initiated the kiss out of nowhere.
But she had to.
Right.
Because he said
he was like not doing it.
So Gil is happy, and divorce is not currently on the table for decision day.
That's crazy that, you know, his being satisfied was because of a kiss.
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
We think of kisses as being simple.
Yeah.
Kisses are like a small, simple gesture.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kisses are a gesture of love, you know, and stuff like that. So
actually, look, to say that Lily, our daughter, actually thinks that when you say "I love you," that warrants a kiss.
Yeah.
Like if you tell her you love her, she's immediately like, "I want a kiss."
Yeah.
So it's like
it's
a package deal. But happy that Mirla was able to get to a space of comfort with Gil, where she felt like she could share a small pet.
Now I wonder how did Miller get to the point of saying, "Hey, I'm gonna kiss him right here, right there"?
Well, I will say that I knew that Mirla liked him when we got to the conversation about divorce.
Yeah.
And she was offended that he had said that he would ask for a divorce. And she was like, "We got to take that off the table."
Yeah.
And so when she was like, "We got to take that off the table," I was like, he's worn her completely down. Like she likes Gil. So she's going to do, I don't know when she's going to do, but she's going to kiss him. I wasn't expecting it to be this episode, but then when I thought about the opening credits, I was like, it was going to be this episode. Yeah. But I'm happy that she was able to bring herself or be presented to us as a willing participant in this.
Right.
Because he's always seemed to be the willing participant, and she's always been kind of like, "I'm doing this, but," and it's always a but.
Right.
So I got nothing else for them. Do you?
Nope.
Rachel and
this is the last
Jose.
couple?
Yeah. So we've done Brett and Ryan, Gil and Mirla, Zach and Michaela, and Johnny and Bao.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So their lesson and their their activity about honest communication started off talking about the cheating situation.
Yeah.
And my thing is she didn't even cheat on you. She cheated with some other dude years ago, not even her last boyfriend, but like some other guy.
She just did it before.
And he's like, once a cheater, always a cheater. And I'm like, I don't agree, but go off. So basically she said that she didn't want to tell him about her cheating because she said you could have one of two stances. Once a cheater, always a cheater, or you can recover from this. Yeah,
that was one of the conversations she was embarrassed to talk to him about.
Mm-hmm. And so basically she's like, he handled it that way, and she didn't like that he handled it that way, but you know, they're there now. They're happy. She's not cheating. It's cool. So they sat down and met with Dr. Viviana, and she asked what they liked about sex. And I didn't get an answer from
Then you get
either
the
one
vibe
of them.
that their sex was not good.
They're having vanilla sex.
Yeah.
Except for Johnny and Bao's vanilla sex seemed to be at least enjoyable.
Yeah, it seems like Rachel just don't like, they're having it because
Jose wants to.
Yeah, but it's like she's like, I got the feeling that she didn't enjoy it.
She's not finishing.
Possibly.
Like Johnny and Bao is like, we finished, but it could be better.
Yeah.
Rachel and Jose is like, I'm not finished. That was it. Can I have some more, please?
That's funny.
And then I pointed down. I didn't mean to point down. I was like, can I have some more, please?
But
I didn't mean to point down.
Okay. All right.
Let's see. So, where was I at? I said their answers didn't make me feel like they liked sex together. In Jose's confessional, well, this was after the meeting with Dr. Viviana. Jose's confessional, he said that Rachel called him by another man's name.
Oh, yeah.
And then he blew up on her production.
He was telling her to get out. And for me, I didn't like that just because, first off, y'all share this place.
Mm-hmm. It is not yours. It's
ours. So you can't put her out.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, if y'all stick together and she moves into your house, that's a red flag because then it's your house and you can possibly put her out.
Mm-hmm. Because I can't see him being a person like, okay, I know that I purchased this home, but let me add you to the deed so that it's ours.
Yeah. And so he possibly would do that. But it's like you putting her out you're trying to put her out in a mutual space.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Then neither one of y'all legally is like production.
Yeah.
Set this up. Not either one of y'all.
Right.
So he's going off on her. She leaves because she's irritated by this blow up.
No, she went to go walk. She said she walked somebody down, like the production lady or somebody down, and they talked a little bit more about what's going on.
And he locked her out.
Now, I didn't like that at all.
Oh, there's two that we didn't like. Like, you're not going to blow up on me like this.
Yeah.
And then, like, I get being upset
that you
call me somebody else's name. But we're 3 weeks into it.
Can we just skip to who she called him?
Was that really what she called him, though?
That's what she said. Because Brett was not Brett. See, I get them confused every time. Ryan was like, it's at the end. Like, we're skipping around. But Ryan he said, it's going to get out anyway.
Mm-hmm.
She called you Johnny instead of Jose. Somebody was like, they both start with a J.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're different, but
it's one of those things, kind of like how sometimes you'll be talking to someone, but you're thinking about something. Not even about, like, not talking to them about something else, but like something that the other person did resonated with this conversation. Right. And you're trying to get to the next sentence and you say the wrong name.
Right.
Like,
that's it. It was a Johnny Jose. I'm sorry. You know, she said she apologized for it and everything. It was basically no reason for him to blow up the way he did.
Right. It wasn't in the middle of sex.
Right. Now that's a different thing.
And even then,
that's a different thing. You know, why are you thinking about somebody else? Why? You know,
that's a conversation.
Yeah, that's definitely a conversation. But you guys hanging out, I'm pretty sure. I think Johnny was there, or they were talking to him. I don't know the back end story of it, but basically everybody was like, you shouldn't have blew up the way you did.
She didn't have her keys. She didn't have her phone. He locked her out. So she's banging on other people's apartments, trying to get into somewhere because she's stuck outside because he locked her out.
Right. I wonder what happened, like how she got back in.
I would have chosen violence.
Yeah, that just doesn't sit right with me because you try to protect women, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know that she was not inside. That's the thing. You know she was not in the house.
He lied and said he didn't do it on purpose.
He did that on purpose.
But he did it on purpose because he was smirking about it.
Nah, he did that on purpose because he was petty. He was being petty.
Definitely being petty.
And being spiteful about what he was doing. And I just didn't, I can't roll with that. You know, so the next day, the morning, Rachel came back and was like, I can't be married to you.
Oh, side
Did
thing.
I miss something?
During the conversation with production, before he locked her out, he said that he was trying to take off his ring and throw it at her.
Oh, did he?
I was like, this little spicy little boy.
Yeah.
I dare you to take something off and throw it at me. Ring or not. Don't throw anything at me.
You would have hit him with the I'm from North Memphis, man.
I don't remember what it was, but me and Talisa Ray on last season were like, I choose violence.
Yeah.
I would have chosen violence.
Yeah.
I would have called him everything but a child of God. And I would have chosen violence, especially if you threaten to throw something at me. Tommy has been in one of my less than stellar moments around when someone threatened to do something to me. And I threatened them to do it back to me.
Man, that's funny. That's funny. But we're not going to...
It would have been a promise what would have happened next.
We ain't going to keep talking about the past.
No, I'm talking about me if I was Rachel. Basically the next day, we're back to where you were.
Yeah.
He came in. Basically, she told him that he wasn't remorseful and that she could not be his wife.
He had her on calling him another man's name, right? He had her on that. That's fine. Hey, you made a mistake. Boom, you address that. You move forward. You know what I'm saying? Because you know it's not anything behind it, especially with whom she called you. You know, so her calling you somebody else's name, I understand the frustration. I understand the madness just because you're still thinking about the idea that she had cheated before. I get all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey.
But not on you.
Right. But you come in and you flip out. And then when she's talking to you, you're like disconnected. Like that bothered me.
Smirk on his face.
That bothered me to no end because it's like, bro, she's trying to have a conversation with you, and the only thing you're saying is okay. Okay, like yeah, she's supposed to leave. Right.
So production forced them to have another conversation because they got to make TV.
Yeah.
And basically, he's just standing there eating his food, looking at her. And she said that she had a note in her phone that she wrote 2 weeks ago and she was going to read it to him. And basically in the note, she was like, you don't listen. I don't like that. I just can't do this anymore.
Yeah,
and
you're controlling.
You're controlling. And you need to do better. And he said, why was it all puppies and rainbows, but you had this note waiting for me? And it's like, Rachel is... I'm trying to make this work to a fault where she's not expressing what her needs were.
Right. And it's like it's all coming out at one time. And she admitted, she was like, yeah, I'm, you know, that's my bad that I didn't tell you these things when they happened, but I'm telling you now.
Because I was trying to make it work.
Yeah.
And this
ain't gonna work.
So we get to Rachel took the ladies to a rage room and she basically told them the story, although they all kind of knew what was going on because she had been banging on everybody's doors in the middle of the night. Basically, Mirla said it the best. She was like, I wouldn't feel safe around him. Like, that doesn't make me feel safe. And you're definitely right to voice your opinion on your safety and your concerns. She was like, I just couldn't deal with something like that. On the flip side, the guys got together for golf and he says when it's time for him to go to bed, he secures his property.
And Brett said what every other man would say who cares about their wife. you don't secure your property without her being inside.
Exactly. And Gil said, what happened? Because I got you at point A. Y'all were having a conversation. Mm-hmm. Point B, she says the wrong man's name. How do we get down here to Z where she wanted a divorce?
Right.
You did something. What did you do?
Yeah. And we can appreciate that from Gil, man.
Yeah. Like all the guys were basically saying the same thing. Yeah. Like Johnny was like, I ain't in it.
Right. It was his name.
Allegedly. But Zach was like, no, like, how did you get from there to there? Because you missed some story.
Right.
And everybody's looking at it like, nah, you definitely didn't tell the whole story. You up here being spicy and trying to be cute, and I'm going to show her. I'm going to lock her out. And now you out here looking dumb on TV.
But you can't respect a man that would actually lock a woman out of their home. She didn't have anything. You know she wasn't there.
Right.
Like that's it. He was, and his defense was, I don't know where she was at. You know she was coming back.
Right. And
you know she had every intention to come back.
And even if you didn't know where she was, you didn't care, allegedly, where she was. Why would you lock her out and then proceed to not answer the door? Because we got to hear footage of her banging on these people's doors. So you know if she banged on the others' doors like this, how much frustration she had banging on her own door like this.
Right.
You heard her. You thought you were going to teach her a lesson, and you thought everybody was going to be on your side. And honestly, if she had come across the island on you, I probably would have cheered her on.
Mm-hmm. I just didn't. I didn't like that. That disgusted me.
Maybe I got to stop saying I don't like. I'm nonviolent, because I might be.
I practice nonviolence.
That's it. I practice nonviolence, but I think about it all the time.
But yeah, man, that and the story that he came up with to make him look good, it's like it wasn't believable.
It was a no for me.
Definitely.
Last thing has nothing to do with the episode, but it's from last week. Who said I love you first?
I said I love you first. Then I played it off cool though. I said olive oil. And she was like, I love you too. I was like, what? You love me too? She said, it was funny, man. But also I said it first.
There you guys have it. I don't remember who all said Tommy, but I think I saw his name more than I saw mine.
Yeah, I definitely saw my name more than yours. So I did. You guys were right.
Anywho, you got a question for this week?
I'm trying to think.
Because you've been doing better with having a question. I
have been doing really good with questions. How should Rachel approach this thing? Because I don't know if they actually, got a divorce or whatnot. But if they stay together, how should Rachel approach her, like, this experience?
Yeah, how does she navigate having final conversations with Jose?
Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
Is there a way to come back from this? It's 2 parts.
2 parts.
Can Rachel and Jose come back from it? I can't, but let me tell y'all tell us what y'all think.
Yeah, right, exactly. We leave it in the comments. We're going to post the question and there. Boom.
All right. Again, if you haven't already, please take a minute to subscribe to the channel.
Like this video.
Comment down below. Let us know what you think, and share this video to a friend that watches Married at First Sight. I want to know from the others how y'all would have handled this Jose situation, because good grief,
man,
violence is my middle name.
Anyway.
All right, y'all. Bye.
Peace.